hey, we're going to do it. You want to one more spin and then we'll close out the show?
One more.
All right, here we go. All right.
All right.
Adidas Snow. So I got a message from longtime supporter, good friend, going to keep him anonymous on this, saying that he had talked to someone higher up at Adidas that they might be getting ready to pull the snow line. And I speculated on this when Nike pulled out that Adidas, if Nike couldn't make it, Adidas would eventually pull out.
Right.
I mean, their outerwear's god awful.
Yeah.
Tracksuits. The boots, the first year boots were awful. Like, you put them on and your feet felt crooked. Like, they were crooked on the inside.
Yeah.
And they had some of the highest cuffs I've ever had.
They
on
were
a boot.
really tall.
Like, the cuff, I could feel it on my tendon right below my knee.
Yeah.
And so, to do it up, am I surprised that they might disappear? No. If they do disappear, I guess you could say you heard it here first.
Yeah.
I think they...
I mean, we were kind of talking about this the other day, that, like, I mean, they had the hype train going for a while. People were asking about them in the shop, and I haven't seen much. They've really dropped off, and for a brand that big, when you start dropping off like that in an entire category, you're going to pull it.
Well, and I think they were hemorrhaging money because, like, the pro riders were expensive.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it is what it is, you know? Honestly, I really don't care if they disappear because it just proves my theory that they were in it for the money and the wrong reasons because they didn't want to reinvest and figure out how to change it.
Yeah, because I know they did the exact same thing Nike did.
Yeah, they had a wider boot, and I know a lot of people with Hobbit feet were like, oh, these are the best things, like the Sambas and the ADVs and whatever fit them. But the outerwear was fucking atrocious. It was a fucking tracksuit.
I mean, literally, and we sell them. We sell out of them every year, which makes me cry. But we have the soft shell sweatpants. They make a soft shell sweatpant. It's literally a sweatpant.
Yeah. It's just
like
10 years from now, if we're still around and we're doing the 20th anniversary of Angry Snowboarder, we're gonna look back on this and go, Adidas tracksuits, what the fuck? Yeah. Of course, 10 years from now, I'll be 45.
Oh, that hurts.
Doesn't it make me, fucking dinosaur.
So yeah, the other thing is I was talking to one of the other kids in the shop, and New Balance already tried it. They didn't try nearly as hard as Nike and Adidas did, but they did try.
They tried. They did
Nike,
2 years.
Nike already tried.
Nike
Adidas
tried
has
2
tried.
times.
Yeah, Nike tried twice. Adidas has tried now. That's kind of it. Like, what other running shoe brand would even be interested in doing it?
Fila. I'm going to start the rumor that Fila is going to make snowboard boots. I'm actually pulling hard for Fila snowboard boots. Like, I can get behind this.
We were even talking skate brands.
Even better,
Like,
Saucony. We're going to get running shoe.
Woo. Yeah, I mean,
like, seriously, like, you know.
And the thing is like, they were so close to making good boots. They really were.
This year stuff was actually looking good.
I got a pair of the ADV boosts, the lace-up ones, and the heel fit was just wrong, basically. And one of the complaints that they got early on was their boots were massively bulky, and they were. And I think one of the ways that they tried to combat that was their liners in the heel and toe were neoprene. So they had a whole neoprene counter in the heel, which you just compress all the way through, and you're hitting shell.
Yeah.
So I got massive heel pain out of them. But the boost foam for snowboard boots is so amazing. Like, they rode so good, and it was a good, stiff lace boot. But that heel pain, like, I did everything I could to try to fix that heel pain, and there was no getting away from it. Like, it just couldn't make it happen. And all they had to do was just get a little bit more 3D shape out of that heel piece back there.
Yeah.
And they even could have kept the neoprene heel counter, but they just needed a little bit more 3D shaping out of the shell, and they would have had it. And they would have had a really, really good boot, but they just never really seemed like they were honestly sincerely interested in actually trying to make it.
I felt like they were always a Me Too brand because Nike did it. Me Too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Reebok.
Well, Reebok, so I asked one of our one of the kids that we just hired that's big into skating, and I asked him about that. He said maybe Reebok, except they tried to get into skate, and
they got handed to them.
Yeah, they got handed to them. So I don't see them doing that, because if they couldn't make it in skate, because Adidas made it in skate, Nike made it in skate.
Oh, they're still making it in
right.
skate.
So if Reebok couldn't even make it in skate, they're damn well not going to make it in snowboard.
I don't know. If we end up kicking Adidas out of snow. Like, I just keep laughing. I was like, skateboarding, what are you doing wrong? How come we keep getting it? We can kick them out, but you guys can't.
Because it's easy to make a shoe.
Yeah.
And the program, and that's the thing is...
Actually, you know what's going to happen? I got this. Nidecker's going to buy Adidas Snow.
Yeah. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, we should touch on the whole Rome and Low Pressure Studio being bought by Nidecker. It's on the wheel.
We didn't land on
it, but we'll finish out the show on this, and then we'll do the outro on that. But so, for those of you that don't know, Nidecker, which is Henry, Cedric, and Xavier Nidecker, it's the sons of Henry II, who owns Nidecker Snowboards, who didn't start the factory, but he was the one that, because they've been doing it 110 years. 130, sorry. So they've been around 130 years, but so there's the Nidecker group, which is Nidecker, Jones, Yes, Now, and Flow.
Right.
And they have a second group that is going to be separate from the Nidecker group, but they bought Low Pressure Studios, which is Bataleon, Lobster, and Switchback, and they acquired Rome Snowboards,
which they're placing into
Low Pressure Studios. So they essentially now have a huge chunk of snowboarding.
They own, I think the number I was told is they now produce a third of the snowboards in the industry.
And they've got everything from boots to bindings, because when they got Flow, they got it for the boot tech. And it was Flow by Nidecker, or whatever it was, on the boots this year at SIA when we were there.
Right.
And so they've got this. So they got the boots. They've got, now they've got Switchback, Rome, Jones bindings, Now bindings. They've got Flow bindings. They've got a bunch. They own a huge section of it. And there was an interview with Shop Eat Surf that's been circulating around, and a lot of speculation going on about what's going on. Are we losing reps? Are people getting fired? Or what's going on? Basically, I think Low Pressure Studio was in a really bad spot. I think they weren't doing as hot as people thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably a deal to pick that up. And then you've got Heldor. You can leverage that. You got the team on Switchback. You've got Bataleon. So you've got Ethan Morgan.
And then you're also reaching your core snowboarders. Because with Yes, with Jones, with Nidecker, Yes almost gets there, but not really. To that guy that says it was better when they hated us.
Yeah, Yes is a unique one because
I see the way
it's like the Rad Dad freestyle brand.
Yeah, the way I see their entire the Nidecker brothers' entire portfolio. So seeing Nidecker group and Low Pressures, you have Low Pressure is your dirtbag core snowboarders.
Yes,
that's who's going to buy that stuff. You have your free ride dudes covered by Jones. You have your Euros and your entry level covered by Nidecker and Flow, and then anything else that you didn't cover already is Yes.
Yeah, is Yes, and
that's kind of how I see it, and it makes total sense.
The thing I want to know is, are they killing Degenerati?
I don't know.
That's a gray area, but you look at it because that's a dirtbag core. I mean, they only make 2 boards. It's a limited run, everything in there. It's really unique to see this. And that interview with Shop Eat Surf, which I will link it in the description. The response from, it was Henry that did the...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was Henry III. I've met him a few times. Nice guy. Basically was, we want snowboarders to control the brands. And that was his answer to every question.
Somehow, every single question that they asked him, he turned it back to, well, we just wanted snowboarding to be run by snowboarders. Which I appreciate.
Yeah, and then it was Josh, right? Josh Reed from Rome.
Yeah.
His response was, and this makes the most sense, was, well, by us selling to them, we can leverage raw materials for buying, so they get a better group rate for core material, for fiberglass, for the P-Tex, for the metal edges, the inserts. They're buying in bulk for more brands. They're going to get, it basically drops the price of the boards. Now, if they drop the prices in the boards, we'll see, but if they keep the prices at the same, they're making a higher profit margin, which means brands are safer. But at the same time, I mean, Nidecker as a brand has a weird history in snowboarding. It's come and gone. I mean, they're big in Europe, but in the U.S. they've faltered. I haven't ridden a Nidecker 10 years. Man, no, longer than that, actually. I never rode one while I was doing Angry. It's probably been 12 to 13 years since the last time I rode one, because I was in my early 20s.
I've ridden a few of the new ones, and
well, I mean, yeah, I rode the Mosquito and one other one at SIA, but I made 2 laps.
Yeah, but prior to that, I'd never ridden one. That was the first time I'd ridden one.
And the only reason I grabbed that was it was right there, and Dale Rayberg wanted to go ride, and so like Dale Rayberg was like a hero of mine when I was a kid. Actually, one of the funniest things that made me want to be a snowboarder was a video of him. I want to say it was Roan Rogers, maybe, or might have been Dave Downing. I can't remember. But ESPN took him to Alaska, and I was like, I want to do that. And that was pretty much when I decided I fucking hated school, and I just wanted to snowboard the rest of my life. And so, like, Dale was a huge inspiration from just that piece. So I always remember that. And so, like, going to make laps with Dale, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to make laps with Dale.
Yeah.
So that was it. But, yeah, I haven't been able to get any of their boards to review.
They've been in a weird spot trying to push into the U.S. and leveraging what was the Pride group for the distribution, but Nidecker wants to use their own distribution for it now, so that's all gotten messy, and then figuring out where the reps stand and all that stuff. So it's just been complicated.
Right.
It seems like it's moving in positive directions.
Yes.
And I don't think they've lost anybody that they shouldn't have lost. So I think they're good there, but yeah, now that they're feeling more comfortable, feeling more solid, I think going into this next winter, we might be able to get stuff, especially because we know the guy that makes shit happen is still there and is now with Nidecker.
Yes.
So we should be able to get shit. So if you guys are interested in the Nidecker stuff, we're hoping we're in a good position now. We'll be able to get it.
Yeah, so that would be bindings and boards.
Yep, because I definitely want to ride the non-flow Nidecker bindings.
Yeah, and I want to get some of the flow Nidecker bindings and go try those out too. Yeah. I mean, I kind of have an idea. It's been a while since I've ridden flows, but I'd really like to go more in depth. And this year, I'm going to try to, like, with every binding we get, like, pull it apart, film me pulling it apart before we do the review. So there's, like, you know, and shoot it from multiple angles and stuff. But that's another topic. But the big thing is I know that Rome is going to lose a few people, but not many.
Not much, yeah.
Like,
it really genuinely seems like the Nidecker brothers aren't trying to just buy IP and just gut brands and make major changes. That they really that they genuinely do. You know, granted, it was the only answer he gave for the entire interview, but it really does actually seem like they just want to keep snowboarding for snowboarders.
Yeah, the only people that should be really worried about jobs is Utopia factory in Quebec.
Yeah, just because they're not really going to have much use of that.
Well, there's 25 guys that work there, and they might be losing that Rome account, and that would really hurt them. So, manufacturing-wise, we'll see where it's going to go from here.
Depending on the pricing, I would actually like to see them stay there because it's from a shop kit standpoint, it's awesome to be able to pull a Rome board off the wall and go made in North America.
Yeah, might not be made in the U.S., but it's made in North America.
North America is usually good enough for people.
Yeah,
and if they ask exactly where, you just go Canada. And saying something in terms of snowboards is made in Canada is just
it's not like you're saying Mexico. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're not saying Mexico. So I'd really like to see that because from a salesperson standpoint, selfish, whatever, if it costs you more money, I don't give a shit. Keep making your stuff in Canada because I really like to be able to pull that off the wall when somebody's like, well, I only buy my shit if it's made in the U.S. Like, well, it's made in Canada.
Yeah, it's near the U.S.
Yeah, and it has overseas finish from North America.
Yeah, they do have a solid finish. Awesome. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, I think if any brand was probably going to get the plug pulled, it would be Switchback first.
Yeah, same. Like they've got a lot of bindings already under the envelope.
And there's been issues with Switchback in the past. Like injection molding, the plastic would crack right in the heel cups. Then they changed the molds. They started putting that like metal in the plastic. And
so I kind of see the only two directions that I really see Switchback going with this merge or buy, I guess, disappear, or they're going to get a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
One of the two is going to happen.
One of the two. And I mean, I could see like Lobster not having as many SKUs, like maybe being like 3-4 SKUs.
Yeah.
Because that's the big thing. If you look at all these brands, they have so many fucking SKUs. Like Rome has a big line.
Yeah, Rome's got a really big line.
And then Nidecker has a huge line. Flow, they kind of absorbed the flow board side of things, which is cool in the boots. So you got that. Yes. Has, I think, like 14 boards in it. Jones has...
line, I think, is the right size. Jones makes total sense for what
they do. At least they didn't buy Slash.
Yeah.
And throw that in there.
Yeah, it's a good thing Slash got dropped before all this happened.
Yeah, so, like, you're going to see probably some constriction in the line and whatnot, but do I think it's a bad thing? No. It's better than having a private consortium or an investment group buy up these people and really screw with it. So that's kind of my final thoughts on it, and I know we've prattled on here for 2.5 hours, which I figured this podcast would be between an hour and 3 hours because we got a lot of topics to talk about. But
yeah, we got through maybe half of them.
Yeah, but we touched on some of the stuff, and we're going to come into our own probably by the 3rd episode, so that'll be December.